upon a time, in the heart of the vast and golden kingdom of Zondoria, there ruled a king named Obadal. His name meant the king has come home, and indeed, he was the pride of his people. King Obadal was a man of great power and wealth, his palace adorned with treasures from across the lands. But what truly set him apart was his family, his many wives, each chosen for their beauty, grace, or noble lineage. Among them was a woman named Adanna. Unlike the others, Adanna came from humble beginnings. She was the daughter of a poor farmer, her hands once calloused from years of labor in the fields. But her spirit was unyielding, her heart pure, and her beauty radiant in its simplicity. King Obadal had met her during one of his journeys through the countryside, and he had been captivated by her kindness and wisdom. Against the advice of his court, he brought her to the palace and made her his wife. Adanna's presence in the palace was like a gentle breeze on a scorching day. She treated everyone with respect, from the lowliest servant to the highest noble. But her humility and the king's obvious affection for her stirred jealousy among the other wives. They whispered behind her back, their envy growing with each passing day.
"Why does the king favor her?" one of the wife would say, her voice dripping with disdain. "She has no noble blood, no riches to her name."
"She doesn't belong here," another would add. "We must remind her of her place."
The wives began to plot, their jealousy blinding them to the goodness in Adanna's heart. They devised a plan to humiliate her during the grand feast celebrating the king's reign. They would accuse her of stealing a precious jewel, a crime punishable by banishment. The day of the feast arrived, and the palace was alive with music and laughter. Adanna, unaware of the plot against her, was busy ensuring that the servants were well fed and the guests comfortable. As the feast reached its peak, one of the wives stood and pointed an accusing finger at Adanna.
"Your Majesty," she cried, "Adanna has stolen the emerald necklace gifted to me by my family. Such treachery cannot go unpunished."
Gasps filled the hall as all eyes turned to Adanna. She stood frozen, her face pale but her eyes steady. King Obadal rose from his throne, his expression unreadable.
"Is this true, Adanna?" he asked, his voice calm but firm.
Adanna shook her head. "No, my king. I would never commit such an act."
The accusing wife smirked, confident in her victory. But King Obadal was no fool. He had seen the jealousy in his other wives and had anticipated such a scheme. He clapped his hands, and the palace guards entered, holding the real thief, a servant bribed by the jealous wives. The hall fell silent as the truth was revealed. The accusing wife and her co-conspirators were left speechless, their faces pale with shame. King Obadal turned to Adanna, his eyes filled with pride.
"You have shown grace and dignity in the face of adversity," he said. "It is for this reason, among many, that I hold you closest to my heart."
King then addressed the other wives. "Let this be a lesson to all. Love and respect cannot be demanded, they must be earned. Adanna has earned my love through her kindness and integrity. I hope you will learn to see her as I do." From that day forward, the palace was a place of harmony. The other wives, humbled by their actions, sought Adanna's forgiveness, which she gave freely. Together, they worked to support the king and the kingdom, their bond strengthened by the trials they had faced. And so, King O'Battle's reign continued, marked by wisdom, love, and unity. The story of Adanna, the humble farmer's daughter who became the king's most cherished wife, became a legend, a testament to the power of kindness and the triumph of the human spirit.